What's good, YouTube? It's your boy, Blue Blood Sports TV, back at y'all with another one. So we have some enormous news that dropped, and if it holds to be true, it will be the biggest news in boxing. And that is, we could possibly be getting the highly anticipated, undisputed welterweight showdown between undefeated, unified, three-belt WBA, WBC, IBF welterweight world champion superstar boxer who is widely considered by many to be number two, if not number one, definitely top 5 pound for pound best fighters in the world, and Errol "The Truth" Spence Jr., who holds a record of 28 wins, no loss, no draw, 22 wins by way of knockout, 32 years of age, 5'9.5" with a 72-inch arm reach, an undefeated 3-division world champion, former undisputed junior welterweight world champion, currently the reigning WBO, World Boxing Organization, welterweight world champion, who is widely considered by many to be the number one best pound-for-pound fighter in the world, in Terence "Bud" Crawford. Terence Crawford is 39 wins, no loss, no draw, 30 big wins by way of knockout. He is 35 years of age, 5'8" with a 74-inch arm reach. Now, this is the biggest fight in boxing. It's the most anticipated fight in boxing. Now, many people will make a case and make an argument that Gervonta Tank Davis, Ryan Garcia is. Errol Spence and Terence Crawford. Now, we know that they were looking to face off. Errol Spence, he last fought April 16th, Arlington, Texas, AT&T, Dallas Cowboy Stadium, when he took on defeated Yordenis Ugas via 10th round stoppage, knockout victory to become the WBA champion, to pick up that WBA strap. And now with that said, Errol Spence and Terence Crawford was expected to face off in 2022, and it didn't come to fruition. Terence Crawford ended up fighting with David Avanesian and BLK Prime. And now Errol Spence, he suffered a car accident that same weekend. And so with that said, that pushed us to 2023. A lot that took place in between that. And then it was reported that Errol Spence is going to face off against Keith Thurman, former unified WBC, WBA, welterweight world champion, superstar boxer. Keith one-time Thurman, who is 30 wins, 1 loss, no draw, 22 wins by way of knockout. He is 34 years of age, 5'8" with a 69-inch arm reach. With that said, Keith Thurman, he's 33 years of age. Keith Thurman was the best welterweight in the world for a short period of time when he beat Danny Garcia, Sean Porter, the likes of those fighters, right? Unifying the belts. He was considered the best welterweight in the world, but after he beat Danny Garcia in the unification, he went on a hiatus and his career never got back on track. Errol Spence was looking to unify the belts against Keith Thurman at that time. Okay, Keith Thurman, he beat Danny Garcia in March of 2017, and Errol Spence, he fought and won his first world title May of 2017. Okay, then Errol Spence was calling for a unification bout, seeing as though Keith Thurman, Errol Spence is under the same banner with the PBC, Premier Boxing Champion, founder advisor Al Heyman, that it should have been a fight easy to make. But Keith Thurman was giving Errol Spence the runaround, okay, not committing to it. And so it never happened. And not long after that, Errol Spence, he vowed, I'm never fighting Keith Thurman. I don't want to have no parts of Keith Thurman, right? And the PBC and sanctioned bodies, they're pushing the Keith Thurman fight on Errol Spence. No Terence Crawford fight, should fight Keith Thurman. Then it was reports that Terence Crawford, Errol Spence and Keith Thurman going to fight at 154 with no belts on the line after the WBC, World Boxing Council President Mauricio Suleiman made Keith Thurman the mandatory challenger and the number one challenger, ranked challenger for the WBC title. Okay. Again, Errol Spence has no interest in fighting Keith Thurman. Now, even the PBC, they put up a poll and they said, who wants to see Keith Thurman and Errol Spence? To which Errol Spence responded and said the PBC need to take the L out of Lover, meaning it's over. No interest in fighting Keith Thurman, right? And we started to hear the reports. Keith Thurman, Errol Spence done. They'll fight May 27th, right? Well, now we got some very, very interesting news, okay? As Spectrum has put up a schedule, right, with all completely official events taking place. Every last event that Spectrum has on their website is all official dates and official events set to take place, right? They start off with boxing event, February 26th of 2023, pay-per-view fight, Jake Paul versus Fury, right? $49.99. Okay. Then they have March 5th, AEW Wrestling Revolution. That's March 5th, $49.99 on pay-per-view. Okay. Then they have March 25th, another official event that's already scheduled, which is Caleb Plant versus David Benavidez. March 5th, pay-per-view, $74.99. Then they have April 1st, WrestleMania Part 1, okay? This April 1st, $29.99. Then April 2nd, the very next day, they have WrestleMania Part 2, okay, on pay-per-view. These are all official events that are taking place and already scheduled. Then they have the big fight we're waiting for the announcement, Ryan Garcia versus Gervonta Tank Davis, April 15th, pay-per-view. They have the number there. Then they go on to May 6th, Cinco de Mayo weekend. Boxing event, Canelo Alvarez, opponent TBD, to be determined, okay? Boxing event, May 6th, Canelo Alvarez. We know this is going to be John Ryder, okay? They still have some things to work out, but it's going to be John Ryder, okay? Then they have May 28th, another official pay-per-view event. And this is Spectrum TV. This is cable Spectrum. Spectrum don't make mistakes like this, okay? Then they have AEW Double or Nothing Wrestling again, May 28th. And here's where it gets interesting. Then they have another boxing event to be determined, just like Canelo Alvarez fight. And it's Errol Spence versus Terence Crawford, $74.99 in June. In June, Errol Spence versus Terence Crawford, which more than likely is going to be Errol Spence, Terence Crawford. It'll probably be June 3rd or June 10th, okay? So obviously they got to be looking at the date and secure the venue. But it would be June 10th or June 3rd. And then after that, just to confirm that everything on this website is official, you have AEW Forbidden Door, okay, June 24th. You could look all of this up, pay-per-view event. Then you have July 1st, WWE Money in the Bank, pay-per-view event. All of these events are official dates for Spectrum, okay? This is for Spectrum, Fox Sports 1, MS3, Motor Trend, so on and so forth, right? And so then they have Terence Crawford, Errol Spence on there versus each other in June, which I told you guys would more than likely be June 3rd or June 10th, right? They don't want to get too close to the Canelo Alvarez fights and, you know, other dates and other venues, other events that's taking place. So they have Terence Crawford versus Errol Spence in June, again, which will more than likely be June 3rd or June 10th, with Keith Thurman on standby. Okay, so this means that Keith Thurman will be on standby. Now, also, another thing to keep in mind is June 17th. This is important, an important thing to note. June 17th, Juneteenth weekend, you're going to get Jamal Charlo back in action, and Jaron Boots Ennis is a co-main event. Usually they'll go back-to-back dates. Now, if Jamal Charlo fights on free TV and Boots Ennis fights on free TV, you can expect the Errol Spence Terence Crawford fight to take place June 10th because they're going to re-air it June 17th ahead of the Jamal Charlo, Jaron Boots Ennis card. So before you see Jaron Ennis and you see Jamal Charlo, you'll see Terence Crawford, Errol Spence re-aired for free, and then you'll see that fight player. That's huge news. So hopefully, again, like I said, this is on Spectrum website. They have, it's all over the place on Spectrum. So with that said, it's even on a wrestling website, okay? WrestlingNews.com official website. They have it up, and they're focusing on the wrestling portion. They're not even paying attention. They accidentally revealed Terence Crawford, Errol Spence, and these other events, because their focus is wrestling. Majority of these events on here is wrestling. You have WrestleMania 1 and 2. You have AEW. You have AEW Forbidden, then WWE Money in the Bank, AEW Double or Nothing. There's only a few. There's the Ryan Garcia, Canelo Alvarez, and Terence Crawford, Errol Spence. Majority of this is wrestling, and that's what they're focusing on. And that's what this wrestling website put this up. And their special cable list, AEW Forbidden Door, for June 24th. Okay. So they're talking about something completely different, and accidentally revealed Terence Crawford and Errol Spence on this list. That's huge news. So hopefully it comes to fruition. Let's see how it unfolds and plays out. But that's all I got for y'all. Make sure you hit the like button. Drop a comment in the comment section. Let me know what y'all think. Y'all already know what it is. It's your boy Blue, Blue Blood Sports TV. Hate, like, comment, and subscribe. You haven't subscribed, hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, hit the bell icon to get all the new notifications. Follow me on Instagram at Blue Blood Sports TV, all one word. Y'all already know what it is. Shout out to the entire LDBC. Shout out to Black Media Row. Make sure you like and share these videos. That's all I got for y'all. Peace.